President Tinubu directs immediate reopening of Nigeria-Niger border. 10 abducted victims rescued in Zamfara as troops disband bandits. 2 children killed in Borno IDP camp fire. On the foreign scene, United Kingdom plans to pay asylum seekers to move to Rwanda. Hello and welcome to the news update at this hour on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Now the news in full, and thank you so much for joining us. President Bola Tinubu has directed the opening of Nigeria's land and air borders with the Republic of Niger, as well as the lifting of other sanctions against the country with immediate effect. A statement from the president's spokesman, Ajurin Galale, says the directive is in compliance with the decisions of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government at its extraordinary summit on February 24, 2024 in Abuja. ECOWAS leaders had agreed to lift economic sanctions against the Republic of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. President Tinubu has also approved the lifting of financial and economic sanctions against the Republic of Guinea. Also, President Bola Tinubu directed security agencies to rescue abducted Kaduna students without paying a dime to the abductors. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made the directive known while briefing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. Recall that over 280 pupils and teachers of Government Secondary School and LEA Primary School at Kuriga, Kaduna State, were abducted by bandits recently, triggering national outrage. The bandits reportedly invaded the Kuriga area of the Chikun local government area of Kaduna State, shooting at their victims before taking at least 280 students and teachers away. Still on security matters, troops of the Joint Task Force Operation Hadarin Daji have rescued 10 abducted victims in Safe town of Safe local government area of Zamfara State, following a successful disbandment of their hideout. Information Officer, Operation Hadarin Daji in Zamfara, Lieutenant Suleiman Omale, said in a statement on Wednesday that the troops displayed remarkable valor and dedication during the operation, resulting in the dispatching of the bandits. Omale said the OPHD team had responded to a distress call on the night of March 12, 2024, and had engaged the bandits in a fierce gun duel upon arrival in Safi town. He added that the troops overpowered the bandits, forcing them to flee with gunshot wounds through Iraqi bush, abandoning all 10 abducted individuals. Omale noted that during subsequent mop-up patrols in the area, the troops intercepted and successfully rescued all the 10 victims and reunited them with their families. Also, the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike on Wednesday addressed the Nigerian Senate on the state of security in the nation's capital, Abuja, saying the administration has been able to bring down the wave of insecurity. The closed-door meeting took place at the Senate chambers of the National Assembly in Abuja. This meeting was prompted by a summons issued by the Senate 2 weeks prior, requesting their briefing on security matters within the FCT, following a recent kidnap incident at the Galadima area of the Abuja metropolis. Speaking with journalists after the closed-door meeting, which lasted over 3 hours, the FCT minister informed lawmakers that the recent arrest of 2 most wanted kidnappers and intelligence-driven security has helped the administration to curtail the insecurity in the territory. Also speaking, Commissioner, FCT Police Command, Benedict Igwe, noted that the force, under his leadership and support of the Inspector General of Police, Adeolu Egbetokun, and FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, will continue to comb the FCT border forests of the FCT of Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Kogi State to ease the security burden on the FCT.
It's not correct. Even the senators agreed that security has quite improved in FCT. And let me also say, there's no part of this world where criminality has been abated. No. You have had several times in America where people go to schools and shoot students. So let people not have that impression that you cannot have one crime or the other. What we're trying to say, being able to limit or reduce the level of insecurity. But if anybody tells you that as society is concerned, you not have one form of criminality, that is not correct. And we must have to tell ourselves the simple truth.
The discussion was how FCT has been secured recently. All of them came to acknowledge that FCT is not secure recently, especially like many of them said there, since my assumption of office. They have seen changes, they have seen, and I give it to some of my boys, my colleagues in the other security outfit, because we have been working in synergy to ensure safety. We have gone extra miles to ensure safety.
And on to matters of politics. Former governor of Anambra State and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is of the opinion that the Nigerian Senate still owes the people some explanations as regards the budget pardon scandal rocking the upper chambers at the moment. Obi said the claims and counterclaims over the alleged 3 trillion naira, which was pardoned into the 2024 budget, requires proper explanation as to what Nigerians must need to know regarding management of the nation's budget. The Senate, under the leadership of Senate President Godswill Akpabio, had on Tuesday suspended Senator Abdul Ningi over allegations of 3.7 trillion naira pardon of the 2024 budget. Addressing both the Senate and the presidency in a communique shared via X, Obi asserted that it is sacrosanct for every penny of Nigeria's public fund to be used for public good, adding that the alleged 3 trillion naira is more than the national budget of the two most critical components of the Human Development Index, namely health and education combined. He stressed that even if there is no 3 trillion naira as claimed, then the 1.2 trillion naira which the executive branch admitted to have been pardoned, if channeled into any of the critical areas of development, could have positively impacted the nation and uplifted the people. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed on Wednesday declared support for suspended Senator Abdul Ningi, saying his integrity is praiseworthy. According to a post on X, formerly Twitter, the governor made this known at the Bauchi State Executive Council meeting. In an interview, Ningi had claimed that the federal government is operating two versions of the 2024 budget and that the 28.7 trillion naira budget passed and signed into law by President Bola Tinubu was skewed against the North. Many senators and the presidency pounced on Ningi, describing his claims as far-fetched and unbecoming of a leader of his status. The embattled lawmaker subsequently resigned as the chairman of the Northern Senators Forum, even as he was suspended by his colleagues in the Red Chamber for 3 months. And on to labor matters in the health sector. The Association of Resident Doctors, Barao Diko Teaching Hospital chapter in Kaduna State, has embarked on an indefinite strike to press home their demands. The striking doctors revealed that the Kaduna State government has failed to consider the payment of the medical residency training funds, thereby making it difficult for resident doctors to update their courses. Trustee Bello Musa has more.
While also frowning at the government for not putting in significant effort with regards to sponsoring residency program and not inducting the Medical Residency Training Act, the resident doctors noted that there is poor remuneration for doctors in Kaduna State compared to other states and federal governments.
The first issue we have is lack of workforce. We have very minimal doctors available in the hospital, but the house officers, the resident, and also the consultant. And also when we look at the working environment, the equipments are very, very poor, not well maintained, and also the inadequacy of the services, the health services rendered within the emergency due to the decrease in doctors in the emergency. I think these are some. And then also we have the issue of medical residency training fund, which is a fund released.
And a resident doctor is expected to participate in an exam every year, either an update course, because that is why we are here. As we see all the patients, we also do our training, participate in exams, and pass so that you'll be a consultant. But you realize that a resident doctor who is supposed to at least take an update course twice in a year, like some of us will stay, this is my 4th year, I've not taken one course. So you realize that the aim of the training is defeated. Yeah.
Patients who came to the hospital to see a doctor were left stranded at the hospital.
Mun kawo mara lafiya ne tun da safe.
We brought our patient since morning and went to the outpatients department, but they referred us back to the emergency unit. We kept wandering here and there until they asked us to purchase a card, which we did. They only checked his blood pressure and then asked us to take him back home on the grounds that they can't treat him.
In his response, the CMD of Barodiko Teaching Hospital says they have medical consultants rendering services at the hospital at the moment.
Currently here too, with the coming of this new administration of His Excellency Senator Obasani, last year he paid the medical residency training fund for the first time. So now they are agitating for continuation of that medical residency training fund, especially the balance. He paid part of it last year, and then the balance of it, and then to subsequently to continue payment of that MRTF.
The strike left many patients with no option than to seek the service of other government or private hospitals in the state. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
This is the news update on Trust Television. Still to come. Small businesses in Abuja decry negative impact of decline in power supply and operations. More news on return. Just stay with us. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. But if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust Television. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that President Tinubu directs immediate reopening of Nigeria-Niger border. 10 abducted victims rescued in Zamfara as troops disband bandits. And now moving on to more stories and to a sad development. Tragedy struck in Borno on Tuesday as fire gutted the Muna internally displaced persons camp in the Muna area of the northeastern state. The incident, which happened in the Muna Alamdari IDP camp in Maiduguri, led to the death of 2 children. As of the time of filing this report, the remote cause of the fire could not be ascertained. Also, the Borno State Police Command or the state government were also yet to comment on the incident. Borno has been ravaged by the Boko Haram insurgency for over a decade, leaving thousands dead and many others displaced.
wuta ko da mun ka zo to mun zo mun aje kaya kenan ta neman yara mu muke yi.
3 of us who had gone to the bush saw smoke billowing from the camp and quickly ran back to ensure that our children were safe. Some of our neighbors lost their children. The fire raised our foodstuffs. Right now, we don't have anything and we don't know where we will spend the night.
The fire started at about 10:11 a.m. As we speak, everything is gone. As you can see for yourself, there's nothing remaining. We appeal to the government to help us. We need support.
Epileptic power supply has grounded businesses in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja, with those affected lamenting the negative impact on their operations. Speaking to Trust TV on Wednesday, welders in Abuja said they have resorted to the use of generators in order to remain in business as power supply has almost hit zero. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail has details of this story.
The persistent power glitches in Abuja have been attributed to vandalism of transmission installations, with severe consequences on artisans who depend on electricity to remain in business. 39-year-old Christopher runs a welding workshop in the Jabi area of Abuja, but the current blackout in Abuja is nearly pushing him out of business.
So at times you stay from morning till night, you cannot get light. 2 days safe, you cannot get light. It's only at times they will bring it early in the morning, they will take it. So right now, the thing is not strong. If there will be electricity right now constantly in Nigeria, at least it will reduce the hardship. It will reduce we using more of fuel.
Obinna and his colleagues are now compelled to spend funds beyond their usual budget to sustain their operations.
Every day we do spend more than 10 liters to 12 liters every day. And you know what it's worth, up to 10,000 naira every day to work per day. So it's too much for us. Inside the market, you may bargain 20,000 naira of work now. You go next 2 hours, it will increase. So we find it difficult for we to do our work.
We cannot make use of light because of the situation of the country. So the light is not, they don't give us light. And the diesel we are using is expensive per liter. Before, we are buying 5 liter, 1,000 naira. But now, for us to get 5 liter now, it's 8,500. So the price is too much for us. Even we are affecting our work.
In addition to crippling commercial activities of Nigerians who struggle to survive the impact of the general cost of living crisis, the Abuja blackout is making the city more hostile for the residents.
You don't know the difference between 12, 8, 9, 10. No light. If they bring the light, 30, if it's up to 30 minutes, you thank God. The next thing is off. Join this heat that we are passing through. Everything is right up. You can't say you want to come outside and relax. The same thing. So no light. I can't. In fact, I will just give it 10 over 100.
Despite series of meetings between the federal government and the electricity distribution companies, it seems there is no end in sight with regards to the poor electricity supply in the nation's capital. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria has allocated 100 billion naira and 2.15 million bags of fertilizers to the Ministry of Agriculture to cushion the effects of high prices of food in the country. Governor of the Apex Bank, Olayemi Cardoso, disclosed this during a meeting with the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar, and the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. Cardoso said the Apex Bank believed that providing support to farmers would help mitigate high food prices currently bedeviling the nation. On his part, Abubakar welcomed the development, saying the partnership would further guarantee food security in the country. Cardoso called for active partnerships to ensure stability in the prices of food items. Cardoso reiterated CBN's commitment to prioritizing price stability and instilling confidence in the Nigerian economy by upholding consumer price stability and ensuring a balanced foreign exchange market. On the international scene, the United Kingdom's government is considering plans to pay asylum seekers whose applications have failed up to 3,000 British pounds to move to Rwanda. The proposed scheme, part of a deal struck with Rwanda, was drawn up by ministers with the aim of clearing a backlog of tens of thousands of asylum seekers who have been refused the right to stay but cannot be returned to countries deemed unsafe. The plan is separate from the controversial Rwanda bill, an earlier plan to forcibly deport most asylum seekers to Rwanda. According to the Home Office, 19,000 people were removed voluntarily from the UK in the past year. Under the new extension, people will receive the money if they agree to live in Rwanda, which the United Kingdom government considers to be a safe third country, despite reports from rights groups on political oppression. Rejected asylum seekers could not work legally in the UK, but would apparently be allowed to do so in Rwanda. and be eligible for 5 years of additional support agreed in the 2022 deportation plan. In sports, the Nigeria Football Federation has suspended center referee Mohammed Gata from further officiating in the Nigeria Premier Football League. The chairman, referee committee, Mohammed Aminu, confirmed this in a memo sent to the official. The move to suspend Gata takes immediate effect. Referee Gata was found wanting during the March Day 24 clash involving Katsina United and Heartland at the Muhammadu Dikko Stadium last weekend. Both teams battled to a 1-1 draw in the game. 2 more match officials were earlier suspended following fallouts from the March Day 24 fixtures. And with that, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Aisha Saliu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.